In the 1980s, Batman released to critical acclaim. This quickly garnered a sequel, also directed by Tim Burton, Batman Returns. However, Returns was very dark, and many parents complained that the film had many controversial scenes for younger viewers. This meant that the series would be taken over by a different director, and in came Joel Schumacher for Batman Forever.
Can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?
I'll get drive-through.
So of course, big blockbuster film in the 1990s, it was going to get a video game, and it's a real shame that this was the first Batman game on PlayStation. Well, I personally felt that the movie was a boring, mixed up mess. It was so confused of what it wanted to be that it ended up getting nothing right. The drama was all gone, and the villains the film did have were completely forgettable, because I'm sure even the actors forgot who they were playing. Did Tommy Lee Jones get told he was playing a rip-off Joker? And Jim Carrey, well, I'm sure he just played a rip-off Jim Carrey. Val Kilmer's Batman is one of the creepiest and mind-numbing performances of the character.
My parents were murdered in front of me, and I was just a kid.
And don't get me started on the dialogue of the film.
Black rubber.
You're trying to get under my cape, Doctor?
A girl can't live by psychoses alone.
It's the car, right? Chicks love the car.
Bring the wine, you bring your scarred psyche. Or do I need skin-tight vinyl and a whip?
And that's just the film, but surely the video game's better? Well, Batman Forever on the PlayStation 1 is a port of the arcade game. It's your classic side-scrolling beat-em-up similar to Double Dragon or Streets of Rage. But remember, those games were made a good half a decade before this, and were on weaker hardware. But still, Batman Forever fails to live up to its predecessors. Let's get out of the way what the game does right. Well, the fighting is fast and responsive, and there are bonus pickups to gauge level and various moves you can pull off. Nothing you haven't seen before, but at least they tried. And that's really all I can say. Forever is a simple game to explain, because all you do is beat up the thugs. Repeat that for the whole game and you'll be sorted. The levels are tiny, with not much progression, and the enemies are the same 3 or 4 thugs over and over and over again for every single level. The backgrounds are dull and muddy looking, and it doesn't help that the sprites are even worse. They are very blocky and rushed, with many animations looking like they are missing multiple sprites. The game looks worse than the film, and that's saying a lot.
Fully rusted metal, Batman! Huh? You're grown, it's all metal, it's full of holes, you know? Holy!
Oh.
Now, one of my favourite aspects of Batman comics are the villains, hands down. For me, they steal the show. And while the villains in Batman Forever the movie are garbage, I was expecting the game to play around with a few more for the boss battles. Well, again, Forever takes the easy way out. All the way through the game you'll be fighting nobodies. Frustrating, forgettable nobodies. Such as Nick. You remember Nick, right? Or how about Tassel? Or, oh, Helicopter. It's at the end, very end of the game, where you actually fight the film villains, Riddler and Two-Face. Riddler's showdown is so tacked on at the end that you don't even face him. Instead, it's a generic gauntlet, where you have to re-face all those mindless bosses you just spent the whole game and 2 sore thumbs just bashing through. And then, as the icing on the pile of shit, Two-Face will come out, and while yes, he's an actual boss, his fight is trash, and it just sums up the whole shitstorm that this game truly is. Batman Forever was a lame Batman film that shat out an even worse, frustrating, crappy looking, unimaginative and forgettable cheap button masher. I love button mashing games, but this one sucks any enjoyment straight out of it. Not even the repetitive smack bang and wallop sound effects or the looped music can save it. Batman Forever gains a pretty poor 44%. Thank you very much for watching this review, and I'll see you next time. Adios.